Bitcoin has seen a significant dump towards the downside, but while this has been happening, we exactly came back to support. But right now, I am seeing something very important in the chart, because right now the Bitcoin funding rate is actually dipping negative, and this has not happened yet so far in this entire rally towards the upside. So in today's update video, I will be exactly discuss this exact opportunity we have in the market, the biggest support for Bitcoin right now, the price structure on the 12-hour time frame, and many more important charts we need to discuss on today's update video to know what is going to be happening next on Bitcoin. So without any further ado, don't forget to slap that like button back above 1,000 likes. And with that being said, let me jump straight away in towards the content. And yes, once looking at the imminent short term of Bitcoin, Bitcoin has actually seen another 7 to 8% correction towards the downside. And yes, this is actually quite a massive correction, but if we're looking at the bigger things of it all, we are still in this massive consolidation pattern we have been trading in for quite a while right now. And honestly, every single opportunity we're getting in this stage of the market is an enormous opportunity, because I do believe that if I'm currently looking at this consolidation phase for Bitcoin, we are actually still creating a higher low, and this is of course a fact. And while this is happening, we're creating higher lows around all-time high, and you have to understand that Bitcoin is consolidating in a symmetrical triangle around the all-time high, exactly below the all-time high to be exact. And this consolidation is just extremely bullish for Bitcoin after we've seen such a significant rally towards the upside. So the longer the consolidation is going to be lasting, the bigger the breakout is eventually going to be. And of course, the resistance we need to be breaking above of is $74,000 for Bitcoin. But right now, we are currently seeing Bitcoin retrace back towards the upward sloping support line. And exactly the moment once we did touch the upward sloping support line, Bitcoin actually managed to be bouncing straight away from it. And you can clearly see we've not only seen this support line getting tested once, but more than 2, 3, 4, or even 5 times in a row, we have seen Bitcoin bouncing from this exact level of support. So currently, if I'm looking at the 4-hourly time frame for Bitcoin, you can see the same exact support line towards the upside. And basically, the Bitcoin is currently creating a gigantic ascending triangle. And an ascending triangle is a continuation pattern. And after Bitcoin, of course, create this massive rally towards the upside, we're just creating an enormous continuation pattern. And the moment this continuation pattern is going to be breaking out, we are, of course, going to see the next breakout towards the upside, and I am targeting $85,000 to $90,000 once we do break above the red box of resistance. And you can clearly see this level right here that I pointed out many times before, once again exactly was the level that provided resistance for Bitcoin and actually got us rejected all the way down back to $65,000 again here. So yes, Bitcoin is correcting, but you may be asking, okay, but what is the opportunity right here? So let me talk about that in a second. But if you are interested in trading Bitcoin or any of these moves, guys, make sure to check out Margex in the link description of today's video, where you can actually get a free $50 by just signing up an account using the link below, and an additional free $50 after you made your first $100 in deposits on the exchange. So if you're interested in trading and up for some free cash, make sure to check out Margex in the link description of today's video. You can trade different altcoins and Bitcoin up to 100x leverage on this exchange. So yeah, if you want to be benefiting from the volatility we're currently creating, or potentially the bounce that we have been created, don't forget to check out Margex in the link description of today's video. But anyway, guys, if I am right now looking at the funding rate, I am seeing something massive happening right here, because the funding rates are dipping negative. And I discussed this on the channel many times before, and saying that whenever the funding rate will go negative, it would mean a massive opportunity in the market. And what is currently happening? The funding rates are dipping negative. We are seeing on DYDX, Vertex, on Binance, on bitfinex, on Derived, the funding rates are all negative. And that is of course a massive thing here. And we can see that even while we had this steeper correction right here, we're going even more negative. You can straight away see the funding rates go negative. It is a big opportunity to actually open up your Bitcoin long position. So this is a very interesting signal. The funding rates are going negative. And if I am looking at the daily time frame, of course that's not shown that it has gone negative yet so far, but looking back at the previous bull market, every single time once we did saw the funding rates go negative, which was over here, which was over here, which was over here, which was over here. It was every single time a gigantic opportunity to be opening up Bitcoin long positions. So once again, the fin rates is currently dipping negative, and of course the longer it's going to be staying negative, the bigger the opportunity is going to be for Bitcoin. But this basically means that the majority of the traders are actually opening up short positions, and while they're doing so, we can straight away see that there's once again a massive amount of short liquidations piling up on the top side. So yes, indeed, Bitcoin has seen a significant correction towards the downside, but it doesn't take away the fact that I am bullish because this consolidation on Bitcoin is just looking extremely good here. And this is potentially just a trap to get you out of this move or out of Bitcoin. And while this all is happening, you have to understand there's more than 1.3 billion US dollars to be exact, building up on the top side worth of liquidity. And this liquidity is just going to get squeezed out at the moment Bitcoin is going to hit 71.7k already. So there's a massive amount of short liquidations laying above us. The majority of the liquidity lays above us, and Bitcoin always follows the liquidity. So what am I currently expecting from the price action of Bitcoin right now? I honestly do think Bitcoin is most likely going to be bouncing back towards the upside, somewhere towards that 72,000 US dollar region. And then I think, I'm not quite sure what's going to be happening next. I just have to look at the charts at that point. But once this bounce has been happening, we will most likely see, of course, eventually the breakout of the symmetrical triangle, and then Bitcoin will continue up higher. But you have to understand, currently it is weekend, and just like we know from the last CME gap, CME gaps usually tend to get filled up here. So if Bitcoin does decide to make any big moves over the course of the weekend, we're going to be once again creating a CME futures gap. But yeah, after we saw that big dump on Friday, it is probably likely we're going to see some volatility over the course of the weekend. And I'm going to keep you guys just exactly up to date about what is happening next year and how that CME future gap is going to get created. So very important to be paying attention towards, but also in 7 days from now on, we're going to get the Bitcoin halving, which is going to be, of course, quite big. Only 7 days out, and historically speaking, the majority of the gains always come after the halving and not before. So I don't really think that this is the time to be fading Bitcoin. And yeah, maybe we're going to get another 2 or 3 weeks of bearish price action on Bitcoin before taking off. But anyways, it doesn't mean you should be fading Bitcoin right now, because the most gains always come after the halving. And basically, even though we saw a 7% correction, which is of course quite a lot, we are still in this massive consolidation phase, which is still looking extremely bullish in my opinion, because Bitcoin is consolidating around all-time highs, around 60,000 US dollars, and we're just moments out before we're going to be having an absolutely blast off. So this was it for me in today's update video. If you did enjoy the content, don't forget to slap up that like button. And guys, yeah, I hope to see you back tomorrow on another update. I've got even more information. I will be trying to dig the most important information out of the market. I truly think this video was extremely valuable. If it was, let me know in the comment section down below. Share it with your friends, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.